Guys. So in the last lecture we have seen various performance characteristics of IC engine, that is for CI engine and SI engine, that how it varies its performance based on speed and power. So we have also seen different graphs of brake power, indicated power, and specific fuel consumption. So today we are going to see governing test for constant speed IC engine. What do you mean by that? So, as the name suggests, that for constant speed IC engine, so the speed of the IC engine will remain constant, and we are going to test the governing. So, various terms related to governing of test engine for IC engine we need to understand before going uh, before moving towards governing test. So uh, let's understand few terms. So first is transient speed change. So transient speed change. So what do you mean by transient speed change? It is denoted by delta A. It is the maximum deviation of speed after sudden load change from speed at steady state level. So it is expressed, so delta A is equal to maximum deviation of speed. So maximum speed from after a load change, sudden load change from speed at steady level. So nmax, so nmax is a transient speed resulting after load change in RPM, and NR are the rated speed of the engine as declared by the manufacturer, that is in RPM divided by, so divided by NR into 100, so we'll get in percentage. So this is expressed in percentage of the rated speed. This is transient speed change. Then the second is permanent speed change. Permanent speed change. So permanent speed change, it is the deviation of a speed after gradual power change from speed at steady level. So it is also expressed in the as a percentage of rated speed. So what is the difference between transient and permanent? So transient, it is the maximum deviation, but while in permanent is a deviation of the speed after gradual power change. So it is gradual power change, that is sudden load change. So there is a difference between transient and permanent speed change. Then the third is steady state speed band. Steady state speed band. Steady state speed band. So it is the width of envelope of variation of the engine speed under steady state condition. So it is expressed as a percentage of rated speed. Then the fourth is recovery time. Fourth is recovery time. So it is the time interval from point when speed exceeds the steady state speed. So when the speed exceeds the steady state speed band, and after the load change until the speed is set up and remains within the steady state speed band associated with the new load. So it is expressed in seconds. So what does it mean? It means that due to sudden load, the speed band will be increased. So it is a time interval that when it recovers back to the steady state speed band. So that time interval is called recovery time. So these are a few terms which we need to understand before seeing the governing. So now, what is what is the classes of governing. So in which class the governing is being divided. So we will discuss now classes of governing. So the classes of governing are in such a way that first is class A1 governing. Class A1 governing. So the steady state speed band shall not exceed plus or minus 0.5 percentage during the performance test. So if this is the case, then the governing is called class 1 governing. What do you mean by class 1 governing? So it means it is the best governing of the governor. Then there is a class 2 governing, class A2 governing. So the engine shall be governed with the limits uh, with respect to the load. So suppose let's draw a table. So load variation at rated speed, load variation at rated speed, maximum changes, maximum changes as a percentage of a rated speed, and maximum recovery time, maximum recovery time. So on suddenly taking of the rated load, on suddenly taking of the rated load taking take off, suddenly the maximum changes as per percentage of rated speed will be, in transient it will be 15, transient it will be 15, and for permanent it will be 4.5. So I have discussed what is transient and what is permanent. So transient speed and permanent speed. So transient speed is for the maximum deviation in the speed. There is maximum deviation of the speed, and permanent is the uh, deviation of after a gradual load. So that is the difference between transient and permanent. And now what is recovery time? So recovery time also I have discussed that how much time it will take from transient to permanent to come back to the normal. So it is suppose it is in seconds, so it is 15 seconds uh, here in from transient, and for permanent there will be no time limit. Then on a change of a load both on and off by all steps of 25% of the rated load. So 25 percentage of the rated load in both directions while putting on load and while taking off the load. So in transient it is uh, 4 percentage, and in permanent it is 1.5 percentage, and here the time is 5 and here nothing. So when the engine is delivering between no load and 100% rated load, the output of the steady state band shall not exceed plus or minus 0.5% of the rated load for class A2 governing. And the steady state band shall be measured for period of 2 to 5 minutes, and the maximum minimum speed readings shall be taken for the period of steady state speed band measurement. So this is for class 2 governing. Now we will see next class, that is class B1 governing. So third is class B1 governing. Class B1 governing. The engine shall be governed within the limits, that is governed speed at full load 100%. At full load the temporary speed change will be 8%, and maximum permanent speed change for full rated load will be 15%. So the steady state, this is permanent, this is temporary, and this is speed, governing speed. So the steady state speed band shall not exceed plus or minus 1% during the performance test. So it should not exceed 1%, and in the class A1 and A2 it should not exceed plus or minus 0.5%. So engine with class B1 governance shall be provided with an external means of adjustment of running speed by plus or plus 5 percentage of the nominal speed at all loads up to rated loads. And then this is for class B1 governing. Now we'll see the fourth governing, that is class B2 governing. This class B2 governing. So the engines shall be covered within these limits will be according to the speed. So let me draw the table. So speed, temporary speed change, and permanent speed change. So suppose here speed I am considering 100% load at full load, 80% load, 60%, 50%, 40%, 30%, and 25%. So the temporary speed change will be 8%, 10%, 13.3%, 16%, 20%, 27%, and 32% temporary speed change. And permanent speed change will be 15%, 17%, 20%, 25%, 30%, 40%, and 50%. So steady state speed band shall not exceed here also plus or minus 1% during the performance test. So engines with class B2 governors shall be provided with an external means of adjustment of the running speed by plus or minus 5% of the nominal speed at all loads up to the rated load. So these are the various classes in which the governing of any IC engine will be classed according to its performance. So first we have seen few definitions to understand these classes, how they are described and how they are bifurcated. So I hope you understood this class E1, E2, B1, B2 governing. Now we will see the rating of an IC engine, that is internal combustion engine. So let's see the rating of IC engine. So rating of IC engine. So rating of internal combustion engine. So here also the rating is given in A and B. So let's start. So first rating is IS rating A. So the net output in the brake power. So the net output in the brake power. So brake power output which the engine is capable of delivering continuously at the rated crankshaft in RPM under operating conditions of the manufacturer's test bed and adjusted to standard reference condition, the engine shall capable of delivering an output of 10% in excess to the rated output. So if an engine is giving 10% more output than the rated output at its rated speed for a period of 1 hour, in any period of 12 hours continuous running, in any period of 12 hours continuous continuous running without undue heating of the engine or any other mechanical trouble, without heating of the engine or any mechanical trouble. So if this is the case, that it is giving 10% more output than the rated output, then that engine will be given as A rating. Then second is IS rating B. IS rating B. This is similar to A class and this is B class. So the net output in the brake power, so brake power output, which the engine is capable of delivering continuously at rated crankshaft speed under operating conditions of the manufacturers according to the standard condition, the engine shall be able to give its rated output for 12 hours continuous running. So it should give rated output for 12 hours continuously without overheating or any mechanical trouble. So here whatever is stated, the rated output, it should give for 12 hours continuously. While here the 12 hours continuously rated output should be given, but for in 12 hours 1 hour, any 1 hour, the output should be greater than the rated output. So the output should be greater than rated output, 10% higher for 1 hour. So this is the difference between A and B. Now we will see the next rating. So that is third, IS rating of variable speed engines, of variable speed engines, IS rating for variable speed engines. So the power measured on a test bed at the crankshaft equivalent to speed according to the reference standard condition. The engine being equipped with auxiliaries, engine equipped with auxiliaries necessary for determination of net power. So the power also defined as rated net brake power. So rated net brake power. So it is the power output with the auxiliaries, different auxiliaries. So this is different rating from the above A and B rating. It's for variable speed engines. So these are the various rating for IC engine, that is internal combustion engine. So what we have seen today. So today we have seen two topics. So first is governing, how governing is being classified for according to the performance. So it is classified in four categories. It is A1, A2 governing, where the common thing is that it is the speed should not exceed plus or minus 0.5%, and in class B1, B2 governing, it should not exceed plus or minus 1%. And we also seen various in A2 and B2 governing, various at various speed different parameters are given to give the rating of B2 and E2. So this is the various two topics in IC engine which we have seen. Now in the next lecture, what we will see? So we will see uh, engine troubleshooting. So we will see engine troubleshooting. But now I will just mention the reference conditions. So as I mentioned in this lecture that this tests are being held at reference condition. So what are the standard reference conditions? I will just list out what are the standard reference conditions. So standard reference conditions, at what condition these tests are being carried out. So it is that first is pressure. So mean barometric pressure should be 100 kilopascal, or you can call as 750 mm of mg, 750 mm of hg, that is mercury. Then temperature. So we can create a table. Here is description and here is condition or value. So then next is atmospheric temperature, that is 300 Kelvin, it is 27 degrees Celsius. Then relative humidity, that is 60% at this 300 Kelvin. Then change air coolant temperature, so TCR, change of air coolant temperature, so that is 300 to 350 Kelvin. So when the air coolant temperature should be changed, so it is 27 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Celsius, any one of them. Then next is intake air depression and exhaust back pressure. So intake air depression and exhaust back pressure, so equal to that obtained with intake and exhaust system normally fitted to the engine or recommended by manufacturers. How it shall not exceed 50 mm of water. So so it should not exceed 50 mm of water. That is, so it is the value of pressure unless the manufacturers accepted higher back pressure prior to the test. Then auxiliaries. What are auxiliaries, which I have mentioned earlier in this lecture? So the engine should be equipped with all the dependent essential auxiliaries. So uh, these are the mentioned in the IS standards. So that are the auxiliaries. Now the standard reference condition for variable speed. So this was for constant speed. So this was for constant speed engines, and now for variable speed engines. We will see. So the pressure is also same in variable speed engine. It is 100 kilopascal. Air inlet temperature is also same 300 Kelvin. Then various other parameters are mentioned for variable speed, so I will just list out here. So other parameters are like test bed exhaust extraction pressure. There is test bed exhaust, this is the same 50 mm of water, 50 mm of water at the end of tailpipe. Then fuel, so net calorific value of the fuel should be 42.8 megajoule, 42.8 megajoule. Then fuel supply system, so fuel supply system heat should not be greater than 2 meters. Sorry, head should not be greater than 2 meters. So this is the fuel supply system. So these are the various parameters for constant speed and variable speed, which are used for testing, and then various grades and classes are in which the engine is being divided. So I hope you understood. So in the next lecture we will see engine troubleshooting. So thank you very much.